Hi, I'm Judy Cocu. I'm a level 2 QHHT practitioner, and today I'm with.
Hi, I'm Lisa Armstrong, and I'm also a level 2 practitioner, and I am in South Africa at the moment. Thank you so much, Judy. So good to see you.
It certainly is. So, just so everybody watching can know, whereabouts in South Africa are you?
I am in a place near Durban, so it's on the, oh my word, it's on the east, yeah, we are on the east coast of
On the
the
East
African
Coast?
continent. Yeah, next to the ocean,
Oh, how
on the other side of
beautiful.
the world.
Well, at least we're in the same hemisphere, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, are there many QHHT practitioners in South Africa?
The last time it was actually quite interesting because when I got back from Mount Shasta, where I saw you for the second time, I decided to go through the QHHT website to find all the practitioners that were in South Africa because I only knew of one who was the practitioner that I did my first session with. And so I obviously getting back to South Africa after traveling and meeting QHHT people, I got back to South Africa and I felt a little bit lonely because I didn't know anybody from QHHT here. So I went through the website and contacted everyone. And I think we made a WhatsApp group with about 20 practitioners.
Oh,
So that was in
excellent.
about October last year. Yeah, so I've met um, some obviously amazing soul family from connecting with the practitioners in South Africa, and we've got together since then and swapped sessions. So yeah, as far as I know, I'm sure there'll be more by this time. But
Undoubtedly.
so it's just amazing how this modality draws people together, and you just know that when you meet another QHHT practitioner, you are going to get on like a house on fire and you're going to have so much to talk about. There's absolutely no doubt. And what I actually found amazing was, um, the way this modality, it kind of cuts through all of our social constructs because a lot of these practitioners, I mean, from all over the place, but even the practitioners that I met in South Africa, some of us got together in Cape Town. There were about 4 of us who got together there. And literally, we had never met each other. We were all from completely different cultures, backgrounds, walks of life, ages, you name it. You couldn't have got 4 people more different from each other. We all ended up meeting for 2 days. And it was literally like the door opened as if your entire family you've just had a reunion with them. Within minutes, you're deep into conversation, like you've known these people your entire life, which you obviously have known for lifetimes. And sessions are happening. It wasn't even 2 full days, and like the inside outs of these people, and they become your soul family that you communicate to. I mean, there's it just QHHT, you just connect with people on such a deep level, on a completely different level, and that's what I love. That's one of the things that I love about it. So yeah, that's been beautiful.
Yes, I can agree with you 100% on that. So, what was your story in getting to be a QHHT practitioner? How did that come about?
Okay, so most of my life, no, my entire life, actually, I'm pretty sure since I was born, I didn't fit into this world at all, like most of us. It was like this deep sense of like something is so off. So, like a large part of my life, I ended up kind of following my passion, which was the ocean and swimming with dolphins and whales and teaching scuba diving and kind of going that direction instead of following the traditional kind of corporate uh, ladder. And then I ended up building an eco lodge in Mozambique, which was situated right in where the humpback whales give birth to their babies. So that for me was perfect. My life was perfect. I had this beautiful place. I could actually watch these humpback whales, which are my passion, give birth. But that was, it's funny because you look back in hindsight now, and literally everything that could have gone wrong in building that place did go wrong. There were so many brick walls, but being very stubborn and like, I can do this, I can do anything, I just literally hit my head on the brick wall until it broke. So it was a huge learning experience for me. And then the whole side of running a business definitely tended to bring up a lot of kind of not what I was looking for in terms of, you know, everyone working together as a collaboration. It started to become political, like most businesses do. And I was like, you know what, I've really had enough of this. And I was living in paradise, and I was so unhappy, so unhappy. Until eventually, and now in hindsight again, I realized that I manifested this, because I was like, this is a beautiful place, but the energy is wrong. I don't have the family. I don't have, you know, there was a lot of things that it was bringing up of, there has to be more than this, you know, which felt kind of really spoiled at the way, because I mean, it was most people's dream, but it wasn't enough. There was something definitely missing. So about a little bit over 3 years ago, a cyclone, a very small cyclone in the whole scale of cyclones, came through and literally flattened the entire lodge. It blew the roof off, it flattened all the walls. And like in that instant, it was literally like business, home, relationship, everything was just gone in one night. So it's a kind of very long story short. Obviously, like I was saying, I understand now in hindsight that in a way I manifested that. The universe was like, okay, you don't like this and you want it to change, here you go. And, you know, like you realize so much when you do this quantum healing, your entire perspective of your past and your story changes completely. It flips. And so at the time when I was thinking, oh, this is quite a bad thing to happen to me, I realize now it's the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So I ended up rebuilding it, which was synchronicitous. And still after that, it was like, absolutely no, I don't want to do this. Ended up selling it. And, you know, I was in a position where I could do pretty much anything I wanted. I sold my business. I don't have any dependents. I have a little bit of financial flexibility and freedom. I don't particularly have any roots anywhere because I've just left my home. So what do I want to do? I can do anything that I want right now. And whatever I thought of, nothing, you know, I could go traveling, and everything just fell flat. Nothing sparked that passion. So I carried on and like, okay, well, let me build something else. And I was kind of looking into building another place, you know, starting again and building another business. And I was driving one day and I was listening to a Joe Dispenza video on YouTube while I was driving, and who I'd been following for a while. And the next video that came on autoplay was Dolores Cannon's video on the 3 waves of volunteers and New Earth. And I just got goosebumps through my entire body. And I just started crying, like this emotional crying. And it felt like for the first time in my life, I knew why I came to this planet. For the first time in my life, I understood everything in that instant. Everything made sense. And just that overwhelming, like every word she said and the frequency with which she said it hit me right in my heart. And I was like, this is the truest truth I have heard my entire life. This is what I've been looking for. This absolute 100% truth, this love, you know, everything just vibrated perfectly, because I was very much looking for authenticity. And as much as I found something that felt authentic, it then came out as though it wasn't really, you know, it was, yes, it's great, but. And Dolores's video, I was just like, oh my word. So that was it. And obviously now in hindsight, we know that this is never a mistake and it's never an accident, and it's all just like this most beautiful synchronicity. So obviously the first thing I did as soon as I got home and stopped the car was I Googled her, watched as many of her videos as I could, and I just couldn't get enough of this. I'm like, oh, my goodness, I found it. I understand why I exist for the first time. This completely makes sense. And So I researched where a practitioner was. Within a week, I booked a session with this beautiful practitioner in Cape Town. So I booked my flight there. But from that point, my conscious mind went out of the window. I was just like, I knew for 100% certainty, this is what I had to do. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, book a flight, go there. But interesting, I remember sitting at the airport about to catch my flight. And I suddenly had this feeling of like, it was such a weird feeling. I was like, I had this feeling like of quite a bit of anxiety. And I started thinking, I think I might die. I was like, my word, I think I might die. So I started having these weird feelings. And then I was looking down and I was like, maybe I shouldn't go. And then I looked at my ticket and my ticket number was flight number 333. It was just, and I mean, literally since that moment, this is what my life has been like. Whenever I'm like, oh, I'm not too sure what to do, I'll see another sign of what to do. I'm like, oh, okay, well, clearly that's what I have to do. It's almost like you don't have to plan or think, or you can plan or think, but you're so guided. So, I mean, literally that was February last year. Since then, my entire life has been following these synchronicities and following this path. I had the most beautiful session with the practitioner, which was just like, oh my word. I'd never done hypnosis before, but it was just like it answered all my questions. One of which was, should I do QHHT and should I become a practitioner? And it was like, yes, of course you should become a practitioner. So the next thing I was like, okay, so you have to understand, I never had any intention of ever going to the United States of America in this lifetime at all. It wasn't a place that had drawn me ever. I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't see why people even go there. Don't really understand. So I got back and I went to see when was the next course. The next course was, I think it was like within 2 weeks of that. I went on. I like signed up straight away. I got my US holiday visa in like no time. It was impossible to have got it in that time, and I got it like straight away. I booked all my flights right there. I booked the hotel, everything. I did all of these plans in a couple of like minutes, I think. Whereas usually it takes me a very, very long time to book flights and coordinate everything. Everything just aligned perfectly. So so that was it. So from the time that I heard Dolores' first video, it was probably about 3 weeks until I was in Orlando doing level 1.
Yeah.
And again, on the flight over there, I was, again, my conscious mind, because I'm fairly analytical, less so now than I used to be. I was like, Lisa, what the hell? What are you doing? What are you doing? Who just within 3 weeks changes their whole life, books of all these flights, and you're flying to a country you never wanted to go. You don't even know what this is. You don't even know where you're going and what this is. So it was about a 15.5-hour flight, and then another, I think, 4-hour flight. So it was a long time to think about what you're doing.
Certainly
Where you're
was.
going. So anyway, I landed there. Everything was perfect. I got to the hotel, and I was still like, what am I doing in the States? And I was kind of having these little doubts until I walked into that room of level 1 class on the first day, and I know now I stepped into another dimension. I stepped into another life, because the energy in that room was just, it's different. I can't even verbalize that feeling. It was just like so overwhelming on so many different ways. I was just like, oh my word, like I've got complete goosebumps even just thinking of that now. And within just the energy of the people, and it was just like, there was just so much going on, and there was just so much activity, and everyone was just kind of meeting each other and talking. And it was like within about an hour in the beginning of the first class, I'd literally seen people and met them and looked into their eyes, and I'm like, I know this person. I know this person, you know, and they were looking at me the same way. And it was just like, it was overwhelming. You know, I think like the whole course, you're in tears, you know, because it's like this overwhelming feeling of meeting your family.
Yes.
After living in this kind of like, you know, lifetime that we've had of kind of feeling like you don't really belong anywhere particular, and there's always something missing. And it's just like, I found it in that room.
Yeah.
I found it in that room, and it was just like, wow. It's just, I'm not nearly crying even thinking about it. So thank you. It's so amazing to be able to kind of go back to that time, you know, and experience that all over again, because you realize you can't find this anywhere else, you know. It's
No.
something that it triggers deep inside of you, like a remembrance of why you came to Earth. And that trigger is so powerful, and it's just waiting within each one of us just to be shown that, you know. It's like, wow. Yeah.
I think every QHHT practitioner has got quite a story as to, or quite a similar story as to how they found themselves in their very first class. It's quite amazing, isn't it? It's just incredible. But I know exactly what you're saying about knowing all those people, even though they're strangers. You know that we're all there because of a common background. Background's probably not the right word, but it's something that we know on a very deep level, that we've all known each other before, and this is what we're all meant to do. It's an amazing scenario, an amazing group, very large group of people that are practitioners all around the world, and it's wonderful that we all have this fabulous interaction with each other, isn't it? The dynamics between practitioners is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So Lisa, thank you for your story. I'll be putting your contact details underneath so people can see this underneath the video. And hopefully you're going to have a whole lot more practitioners in South Africa as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know a whole lot more practitioners in the world. It's just like so beautiful. Judy, thank you so much. It's always so good to see you.
Thank you, Lisa. It's been wonderful chatting with you. Bye for now.
Thank you.